Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Ron with Impact Ministry. I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving holiday with your family. And I'd like you to take a moment and subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the watermark on the bottom right hand corner of this video. I want to continue on in this impact moment in the teachings of Jesus in the book of Matthew. Now, we've covered quite a bit of material in the book of Matthew concerning the Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount, it's so very historic because he unpacked so many revelatory concepts on the culture that he was ministering to in his day. And as he ends this historic sermon, he's careful to remind them that if you only hear what I've taught you and you don't do anything, if you only hear what I'm telling you, but you don't act upon it and have a unique expression concerning what you understand in the earth, then you're really just building your house on sinking sand. He reminded them that if you hear the things that I teach you and you demonstrate them and you apply them to your life, that you'll be building a house on a firm foundation, that understanding, it will take root deep into bedrock, and you'll build a house that can't be shaken. You'll build a life that can't be shaken. As he ends this teaching, it says this in Matthew 7, verse 28. When Jesus had finished these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching. I'm still amazed by Jesus. For he taught with real authority, quite unlike their teachers of religious law. I want to talk to you a little bit about religion versus relationship. Oftentimes we go throughout the course of life and we can very easily be talked into a religious reality. We can be drawn into a religious reality where we just follow a list of rules and we say a certain prayer and we live a certain life and we have a certain discipline in our life, and we can consider that relationship. But there's a stark contrast between religion and relationship. Jesus was very careful to weave into his teachings things such as prayer. When you pray, go into your closet, because the Father will teach you how to receive honor and how to give honor in private, so that he will later bless you in public. In other words, this relationship with the Father was never supposed to be about public display. It was never supposed to be about a public discipline where we can draw personal significance from it. We're already significant because the Father loves us. He sent his one and only Son to die for us. But religion really puts you in a fence, so to speak. It binds you into a religious structure. Religion slowly decreases the borders of our true inheritance to what we can explain and understand. In other words, religious reduces the faith to things that we can explain and understand. There's a certain level of mystery that should always be a part of your reality as a believer. It's been said that we live the faith. It's called the faith, not the understanding. If we understood everything, it wouldn't be called the faith. And it says later, Jesus teaching, he said, we must enter the kingdom like a child. And what's the significance with entering the kingdom like a child? A child takes no thought about the household budget. My 2-year-old nephew, Evan, he thinks he owns everything. And he pretty much walks around the house and lets everybody know he's in charge. Now, it's in our DNA to, as a child, to take hold of things. And we come into this world knowing that we're special. We're uniquely created. And so as a child, it's not until we come along and tell him, no, that's not for you. You're not allowed to dig that out and throw that across the house. It's not until parents come along and institute some rules that he actually starts to understand, I don't own everything. Well, much the same way with religion. When we give our lives to the Lord, when we're born again by the Spirit of God, we begin our journey in the supernatural. We begin our journey knowing that we are uniquely and wonderfully made by a Creator, God the Father. And we know that we have certain resources at our disposal, but it's only through religion that our borders and our inheritance and that reality that we're born again into starts to shrink. Religion versus relationship. God owns everything. He said to keep on asking. So we go on into chapter 8, and it says this. After Jesus ended his Sermon on the Mount, it says this: large crowds followed Jesus as he came down the mountainside. Suddenly, a man with leprosy approached him and knelt before him. Lord, the man said, if you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean. Jesus reached out and touched him. I am willing, he said, be healed. What amazes me about this whole interaction between Jesus and this leprous man is Jesus, he just unpacked so many revelatory principles on the society. He taught on so many concepts. But yet this man zeroed in on the one thing that he needed. He needed healing. And he knew that Jesus carried the capacity to release this healing into the earth. Buried within all of the concepts that he taught on the Sermon on the Mount was this authority, this natural authority that they made reference to and said, no one's ever taught like this man. He teaches as one having authority. In other words, he taught like he knew what he was talking about. And it spoke to this leprous man's heart. And this man's faith drew him and pointed him towards Christ. And Jesus was able to heal him. Jesus is always willing. Why? Because with Jesus, it's about relationship. He's always willing to touch us. He's always willing to hold us. He's always willing to heal us. There isn't a standard or a doctrinal format that we have to follow. What's amazing is this man approached Jesus before he prayed a prayer. He approached Jesus before he declared a doctrinal statement. He approached Jesus with a need, and Jesus was willing to meet that need. That, my friend, is relationship. I encourage you today to just take a look at your own life and say, do I need to venture more into the relationship side of things rather than the religious side of things? Is my life just a set of doctrines and disciplines? Or do I have a true relationship with a loving Father who sent his Son to reveal his nature and his character and die for our sins. Remember to visit our website for more information about donations, guest speaker scheduling. I'm available for that, and bulk orders for churches and leadership teams. Links are provided in the description of this video. If you were blessed with this video, please share it with others. A link for my Amazon author page, as well as a link for our website, is provided in the banner image in our YouTube channel in the top right-hand corner. I declare blessings on you, on your family, on your children, on your children's children, to the 1,000th generation. God has plans to prosper you. Remember, you were created for impact as you learn more about your biblical identity, purpose, and destiny. God bless you is my prayer.